State of New California Notice to all Californians, Chapter 2, Grievance 61, June 22nd, 2021. New California is a new state in development, exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state, provided in the United States Constitution, Articles 4, Sections 3 and 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence, January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them to under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Preamble of the new state of California Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The counties of New California State brought forth 95 Chapter 1 grievances between January 2018 and November 2019. On April 28, 2020, New California State will issue 95 additional Chapter 2 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. New California is a new state in development, forming from the state of California. New California State is exercising its God-given rights as declared in the 1776 United States Declaration of Independence and as ratified in the 1789 United States Constitution under Article 4, Section 3.
State of New California Grievance 61, Declaration of Grievance Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a mono-party system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government violates the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government, and shall protect each of these against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. 14th Amendment, United States Constitution, Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability.
Order of the day. Audit. Voter suppression and fraud are the nation's biggest challenges. In Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, and now Colorado, forensic audits of the November 3rd, 2021 general election are being ordered up and conducted to find the truth. Why? Because the state legislatures of these states are doing their jobs to protect the integrity of their respective state elections. The state's legislatures charged with everything to do with elections and work with the proper sovereign county officials to ensure a free and fair election for all citizens. Where is the California legislature on the issue of voter suppression, fraud, and massive corruption in the California system? Crickets, crickets, and more crickets from the California legislature. Unfortunately for the 40 million people of California and New California, for over a year, the state legislature has been absent from their duties, doing nothing to protect the interests of anyone except for themselves. Looking at these states and their audits is readily seen their election systems are almost duplicates of the California model. We're all familiar with the phrase, as California goes, so does the nation. It's clear as all the states in the United States did in fact follow California's model for the November 3rd, 2021 general election. After all, the California election model is bulletproof, the very best in the nation, shining star of honesty and integrity. Now these state legislatures are realizing the enormity of California's corrupt election system and are taking action with forensic audits. The evidence is overwhelming. The 120 California state legislatures have ignored their duties, violated the First Amendment, destroyed businesses, families, failed to educate the children, and misled and lied to the citizens of California while violating their oaths of office. Audit California. If there are two words that best describe the last election from a national view and from a California view, the words suppression and fraud come to mind. Now it's California's turn to clear the rancid air surrounding the enormous election fraud in California with forensic audits of all 58 counties' election precincts. Intent to suppress forensic audits. Voter suppression and voter fraud have been prominent features of California's political system as long as the mono-party system has been in power. The light is now shining on this illicit activity nationwide. Undeniably, forensic evidence of fraud and corruption is being produced and is being prepared to support the case for decertification of illegal ballots. Forensic election audits are underway and are unstoppable, in spite of the mono-party's intent to suppress the forensic audits. Forensic audits are the most legitimate of activities that bring accountability to government. Crimes upon crimes are mounting. Justice is coming. Those politicians and individuals who have committed the treasonous acts are presently adding crime upon crime to their treacherous actions. Tampering with evidence, destroying evidence, blocking the transparency that audits provide are just some of the new crimes that will be individually held accounted for. And, as if it weren't enough, they're at the same time trying to alter our political system to remove any and all checks and balances to their illegally obtained power.
New California stands in solidarity with the forensic audits. New Californians stand in solidarity with those fellow American citizens in many other states who have been disenfranchised by a monopolistic political cartel posing as a political party. We stand in support of the patriotic Americans who are conducting forensic audits in counties and states where unprecedented election irregularities have certainly taken place. After all, it was the new California State Legislature who, at their own personal expense, conducted 29 citizen committee hearings in more than 30 counties all over the state to listen to the concerns of the citizens between November 2020 through March of 2021. The California legislature never conducted any hearings outside Sacramento during the pandemic to hear the plight of their constituents. Politicians and bureaucrats are running for the exits. Politicians and bureaucrats who are guilty of the treasonous crimes associated with the election fraud are already running for the exits and looking for the rat lines to safety, being exposed and held to account by a watershed movement of citizens filing affidavits demanding accountability. We will not have it in New California. We are free citizens. We are Americans. We will defend our liberty. California's monoparty political machine, its socialist governor, along with communist state legislatures, socialist elected officials, agencies, and unelected regional governance boards are colluding to create a pure totalitarian communist California state. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist governor/dictator and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of secession. The California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor/dictator has usurped power, has actively engaged in acts of secession and have created a reign of terror on the United States citizen living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America, to thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor/dictator of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the citizens of the United States living in California state. Prayer. The citizens of New California state pray for the military to exercise its authority under continuity of government and the Insurrection Act of 1807 to initiate the military's use of martial law and create the restored government of California as requested by New California state to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States of America. This concludes these proceedings. NewCaliforniaState.com or NCS51.com. Area code 877-828-2753.